Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Tutorials for Teachers. Today's video is going to be over dual monitors and how to connect and set them up. This can take different forms. You can have a laptop with a monitor, you can have a desktop with two screens, you can have a laptop with a projector. There's many different forms it can take, but the concepts are the same. So there's two steps that we need to talk about. First is connecting your monitors, and the second is setting up your monitors. So let's go ahead and jump into connecting your monitors. When you're connecting your monitors, you really have to think about what type of ports, what type of connections does your monitor and your computer take. There's multiple different types. There's VGA, HDMI, DisplayPort, DVI. There's different types of connections, but you need to figure out what type does your monitor have and what type does your laptop or computer have. These are the ones that I will be using. This is a VGA and this is HDMI. DisplayPort is going to look a little similar to HDMI, but instead of two of these corners chopped off, as you can see here, it'll just be one of them. So it'll be a rectangle with the top right corner basically chopped off. But then you also have DVI, which is basically just a bigger version of VGA, at least what it looks like. So basically, figure out what type of ports your monitor has. If you have any questions, you could send pictures to someone and ask them what type of ports you have. But figure out what type of ports you have on your monitor, and then also what you have on your laptop or computer. A lot of computers, like desktops, will have HDMI, VGA, DVI, have a lot of different types of ports, so you should be fine there. However, with a lot of newer laptops especially, you might need to get something like this. This is an adapter that I have for my laptop because my laptop has this type of port, which is a USB-C. It's what a lot of laptops are switching to. It's a little slimmer and helps them shrink the width or the thickness of your laptop. So you might need to get an adapter like this. You can also get a cable. So on one end of the cable, you could have a HDMI, and then on the other end you have a USB-C. But basically you'll need something to bridge the gap between your monitor's port and your laptop's port. So you might need to get one of these, but they're not too expensive on Amazon. I think this one was around $15–20, but you might need to get one of these. After you figure out what type of ports you have on your monitor and on your laptop, you'll just plug those in. So once you get the right cable, maybe an adapter, you just plug those into the correct ports. So you'll have the port on the monitor that you just plug the cable into, and then the port on your computer. And you should plug those in, and those should connect them. Now let's move on to how to set up your monitor. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. Whenever you get your monitor plugged in and hooked up, as far as connecting the cables go, you'll need to move on to the setup stage. I apologize for this video. I tried to screen record, but because of the dual monitors, it was a little glitchy and it was hard to understand. So I'm moving to old-fashioned recording of my screen. So I apologize if it's a little hard to see some things. But let's move into the setup stage and the setup step. You'll need to go to your computer or laptop settings. So let's open the settings. And you'll just go to any settings it doesn't matter if you have Windows or Mac, or in my case, I have a Chromebook. You'll need to go to the settings no matter what. And then you'll need to go to the display settings. For me, I can simply slide down here, but the simplest way, if you don't know where your display settings are, is to use this search bar up here and just simply search display or display settings, and it should take you to this. Once you're in your display settings, it's going to look like this basically for Windows, Mac, or Chromebook, or Linux, to be more exact. It should all be set up pretty much the same way. And you're going to move this around the same way. I watched multiple videos just to make sure that that's the case. And for Windows and Mac, it's essentially the same. It might look a little bit different, but the concept will be the same. So the first thing that you need to do in order to set up your monitor correctly is to look at this part of the settings. So this is my built-in display, which basically means this is my laptop. And then this is my extra monitor over here. You're gonna wanna spend some time in order to set this positioning up correctly. So in order to move those, you simply select it and then drag it to whichever side it's on. So if your laptop or main monitor is on the left side of your desktop, you'll move your monitor, you'll move your monitor over here. And if it's on the right side, you'll move it this way. As you can see, this is how I set up mine, because my monitor is to the left of my main screen, my laptop, and a little bit higher than my laptop. So I position my monitor in the settings here so that when I transition between the two, it is smooth and does what I want it to do. So you're gonna wanna spend at least 5 minutes just to make sure that this is set up how you want it, to make sure you have some smooth transitionings for the mouse between these screens. Because if you don't, it'll be a little annoying for it to glitch from this part of the screen and then just glitch up to this part. So you're gonna wanna just make sure that you spend some time and get this figured out. This button down here might look a little different in Windows or Mac. You might have two options, a mirror or an extended, and you'll want to decide whichever one you want. Mirror is basically whichever one is your primary monitor, your primary screen, whether that's your laptop or the primary monitor you have. If you have the mirror settings on, then whatever is happening on this screen will simply be projected onto this screen. So you won't really be able to do multitasking between the two screens. You'll only be able to do stuff on this screen and it'll simply project it onto the other screen. However, if you are using a projector as your second screen, then you might want to turn on this mirror, just because if you are trying to show the students something, you don't necessarily want to have to drag the stuff you're doing on your computer over to your projector. However, if you do want to do stuff on your laptop or main monitor while you have stuff on the screen for your projector, then you don't want this mirror setting. You want an extended setting. So extended basically just means I can do stuff on this screen without it showing up on this screen, and I can do stuff on this screen without it showing up on this screen. Extended is typically what you want just so you can multitask and do multiple things on different screens. But if you're using a projector, you might want this mirror setting where it simply projects whatever's on this screen to your other monitor. So that's that. Again, you're gonna wanna spend some time just to get this positioning correct, so you can have a smooth experience. If you scroll down, these are the different settings for your screens. So this is my laptop screen settings, and this is my monitor screen settings. If you are using a desktop with a computer, then you're gonna want to make sure that, so basically if you're using a computer with two monitors, instead of a built-in display like I have, you're gonna have a monitor 1 and a monitor 2. It might not be called that, but that's the best way to think of it, is monitor 1 and monitor 2. And then you'll want to decide which one is your primary display and which one is your extended display. Now for me, my monitor is clearly my extended display because my laptop is my primary display. But if you have two monitors instead of a laptop and a monitor, you'll want to make sure that you click whichever one is your primary and which one is extended, so that it knows which one is your primary. Then you can also choose display size. So this is going to be the ability to zoom in and out on your monitors. And so if you have a bigger or smaller screen, you might want to zoom in and out on that screen. And then resolution and refresh rate, you probably won't use very often, but you can mess around with these numbers if you'd like to, just to figure out what look on your monitor you like best. And then you probably won't need to use this at all. However, for orientation, you might want to use this. So let's say that you are viewing a lot of documents that you need to scroll up and down with. So if you're constantly scrolling up and down, or if you're viewing a lot of documents in portrait mode, you might want to flip one of your monitors to be vertical instead of horizontal. So if you flip your monitor physically into a vertical or portrait position, you'll need to go into settings and make sure that your computer knows that, so it can flip the screen and what happens on the screen to align with whichever way you flipped it. So this is default. This is what your monitor is going to be in if it's in landscape. 180 degrees is what it would be if you flipped your monitor upside down. For some reason, if you want to do that, you can, but you'll need to change that in the settings. 90 degrees is if you rotate it clockwise, counterclockwise, 90 degrees, and 270 is if you rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. But you can mess with this and just make sure that the stuff on your screen is facing the right way for whichever position you put it physically. These are the settings to make sure it looks the same. And then you got some light settings. If you turn it warmer, then it'll be a little more yellow. I like to do this at night just so that it's a little less bright for my eyes. Then you can go all the way to cool. I like to have it about here for normal, and then for these settings I can change it for sunset and sunrise. I can change the warmth of the picture just so at night I don't have to deal with the bright blue lights. And that's basically it for this video. You have 2 steps that you're going to want to take when you're setting up dual monitors. Connect your monitor and set up your monitor. To connect, remember, you got to look at your monitor, see what type of ports it has, look at your computer or laptop, see what type of ports it has, and then find the cable or adapter to connect the two. Once you connect them and plug them in physically, you can go into the settings of your laptop or computer to set it up, and you'll want to take 5 to 10 minutes just to set up the position of your screens to make sure that you have that fine-tuned and smooth transition between the two. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments section below. I'd be happy to help you set yours up or figure any questions you have out. If you enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful, please like and subscribe. It's really going to help me out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.